Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us again for Facebook Live with HMR. I'm health coach Rick, and tonight I'm joined by fellow health coach Lisa. Hello, Lisa. How are you tonight?
I'm great.
Awesome. And also program members Joelle and Jeff. How are you guys doing this evening?
Pretty good, Rick. How are you?
Doing great. Looking forward to this conversation, guys. And I also want to just to our audience, even though people will be trickling in, as always, just thanks for joining us tonight. This conversation is really going to revolve around adding variety and creativity to your healthy eating. And our hope is, one of the goals is that at the end of this discussion, maybe people can leave saying, you know what? Maybe there's a little more that I can do to make my healthy eating even a little bit more satisfying with variety, creativity, imagination, and whatnot. So that's kind of our broad theme. And we certainly have the right people here to be speaking to this topic. To start though, Lisa, I'm wondering, could you just take a minute and just tell us a little bit about your clinic there in Michigan?
Absolutely. So we've been around for over 30 years, and we are a group of just passionate, committed folks that have the best jobs in the world, watching people literally change their lives. We talk about lifestyle management, and that's what it's all about. It's weight loss, but it's long-term weight management, and it's so exciting to watch the changes that happen in people's lives.
Fantastic. You know, Lisa, in our conversations leading up to tonight, you were really looking forward to having Joe and Jeff on and joining us in this conversation. Just give us a minute on why you were so enthusiastic about that, because you mentioned it many times how psyched you were.
Well, their enthusiasm and their creativity are just contagious. They're two people that are really one. They're just totally in this together, and they have made such amazing progress, health-wise, behavior-wise, creativity-wise, meal-wise, that I was so excited for them and their genuine care for other people, just to share it with everybody.
Yeah, really great. Really great. I got that sense too in talking to both of you guys. So I guess you've got a big billing to live up to here. By the way, you guys mentioned a few times when we had spoken in preparation for tonight that you wanted to say hi to some people. Well, let's not give that another minute here. Go ahead. Who do you want to say hello to? Because I suspect there are some people that you've either been in group with or people in your life who might be tuning in tonight. Give it a shot.
Well, we really want to give a huge shout out to our family at the Clinton Township HMR program. They have become super close to us. We rely on them for their support, and we give their support back. We have an incredible leader, Jackie. Okay, shout out to my peeps. Kathy, Diana, Chris, Dolores. Chris loves curry. Stephanie, Michael, Angela, Jackie, Kathy, Diana, Chris, Mel, Tony, Tanya, Brittany, Craig, everybody else. If I've forgotten anybody else, if we bumped into you in class, just know how much we share our love with you and support each other. And it's just been a really, really amazing experience for us, and one that probably won't end for a long time.
It's great. Really nice for you guys to give a shout out like that. We're going to hear your story through the course of this conversation, but I'll just say by means of preview, you have built somewhat of a reputation for creativity in the kitchen in your clinic. So, we'll be getting to this as the conversation unfolds, but do you have any upfront comments that just sort of billboard how you used your imagination to stay in the box and to lose? So Joe, you lost 50 pounds. Jeff, you lost 80 pounds. What would you say about that in terms of just the way that you approached it in terms of variety and creativity?
Want to add something to that?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I made the shakes interesting by putting different ingredients in them and kicking up the entrees, because after about a week or two you get a little bored, and then you want to make it more interesting because you're going to be in for the long run, and then it's just more fun that way. And then we have more fun. It's like, oh, here, try this shake, or here, try whatever I put into my entree, and then we'll bounce it off each other and see which works and which doesn't. So
I think it's kind of like getting ready to go to a dance or go out with your girlfriends, and you're getting ready for the day and you're trying on this, and does this fit right, and does that fit right? And I don't know, let's just mix it all up and have a good time. That's what we do in the kitchen. And that's where we have a blast, like trying different spices and different extracts and skinny syrups and sugar-free jellos. I mean, it's really kind of fun to try to make it seem more normal. I would say not necessarily normal, but you're making a huge change in your life and how you eat and how people perceive that you eat. So we wanted to make what we were eating seem as typical as possible in a really unique way that would work with us to stay in the box.
That's great. Well, as you know, as your legend goes, you inspired a lot of people in your clinic. We're going to get into that in a lot of detail. Since we are talking about creativity, variety, and really making your healthy foods and your commitment to your health as appetizing as possible, obviously we're going to hear from both of you, but to our audience, we want you to bring your experience as well. You know, we'd like to have, however time we spend here, we wanted to have as much productivity as possible, as many possible ideas, tips, strategies, recipes. I see several people who are already joining us here who are going to be able to sort of add in here with what they've done to make healthy eating more appetizing to them. So great setup, guys. Let's take a minute here. Lisa, are you able to see the feed yet?
I am.
Okay, great. Well, I want to just say a quick hello to some people who I'm very friendly with. Susan, hello, one of our regulars. Candace, who I work with on Tuesdays. Excellent, Candace. Always good to have you here. Jennifer, it wouldn't be the same without you. Shane is watching. Carol, thank you for joining us. Patricia, I don't know if there's anyone that you see here. I know a lot of these people here, Lisa. Is there anyone?
Patty's on decision free in our clinic. I see Lisa S, who's in phase 2, down a lot of pounds. So those are a few folks. I see Helen, our account manager, and other fellow coach as well. So thankful that you're on with us as well. And those are the names that I recognize so far.
Yep, and I see Rick. Welcome, Rick. Dana, a good familiar face here. Erin, my colleague. Hello, Erin. Paula. Thank you guys again for taking the time to join us for this conversation. All right, let's get right into it. Rolling up the sleeves here. We often like to, when we have guests on, just take a minute, step back, and have just a conversation about what was happening in your life that eventually brought you to HMR. Sometimes, you know, people share they've had a lifetime of working on their weight. More recently, it's very common now, we hear people talk about having gained weight more recently in their lives. And then sometimes it can actually be a single event, something that happens that just has you saying, it's time to make changes. And Jeff, you have such an amazing story. I'm wondering if you could share what was happening in your life before you decided to join HMR.
Well, before I decided to join HMR, I had a stroke, and my doctor, my general practitioner, had been, you know, watching my blood sugar, and I was on blood pressure medication, and I was taking Lipitor and you know, other statin medications for cholesterol, and my blood sugar was all out of whack. And one morning, I told Joelle, I said, I think you need to call the ambulance. I need to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for a month. I was on the neurological floor for a week. And then I was in 3 weeks. I was in their awesome, can I do a shout out to St. John's Hospital for their
Yeah, Ascension was amazing.
Ascension was amazing, and just the physical therapy floor, the 3rd floor, the people there were just fantastic, and I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for them. And I also had some follow-up therapy at Recovery Project, and I'd like to also say that, you know, they were wonderful people too. I mean, the therapy girls there were just fantastic. So anyway, just got a little long there, but
No, not at all.
No, and then all the doctors that I was seeing, I had I had a lot of doctors that I hadn't seen before, and they all said, "Hey, Jeff, you've got to lose some weight." And I had put on, over the quarantine, I actually put on more weight. So I topped out at about 275, I think, when we started, and then we had our meeting with Lisa, and we were going to start full. We had the introductory meeting with Lisa, and then we were going to start full tilt the following week, and that was the week everything shut down for quarantine. So we couldn't actually go to HMR until June. So then I was putting even more weight, and then I started, and I never looked back. So
Jeff, let me put up the picture that you were generous enough to share with us, if I could, the pre and post. Whenever we show pre and post examples like this, it's always very powerful. Yours just really struck me as just given the gravity of what you were dealing with there, having had a stroke. It's just an extraordinary comparison here.
Yeah, the first photo I think is right before we started HMR.
Yeah.
And then the second photo is from when we were at Sleeping Bear Dunes a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And
Wow.
may I say, you are absolutely positively styling in that picture.
Dude, I could not. Joelle bought me that sweater about 2 or 3 years ago, and I couldn't fit into it. And I think that was probably one of my goal wardrobe things. So
Great.
I've been enjoying wearing that.
I feel compelled to ask our audience, the community, to comment, because this is a really powerful pre-post comparison photo.
Really, Rick, it was when we started looking for photos to share with you, it was remarkable. And we kept saying, what took us so long? Why didn't we see this? Why does it take a life event to change?
I know. And then the doctors were saying, hey, you've got to lose some weight. You got to lose some weight. And you're like, oh yeah. And then you try and you can't, you might lose a few pounds and then you put them back on.
Of course.
But gosh, once we started HMR, it just started to melt away. And then after you start losing a little bit of weight, then you get
You feel good.
you start feeling better. And then you really, once you start to see that start happening, then it's easier to keep with the program. And then oh my God, I'm going to go in next week and I'll see how much I lost, right? And it was really, really, really nice to lose a couple of 2 or 3 pounds a week,
Absolutely.
I'm looking at some
by
of the
staying in
feed.
the box, mind you.
Lisa,
I'm
go ahead.
looking at some of this feed, you guys. What a transformation, Jeff. Such an impactful story. Amazing job. Congratulations. Wow, what a difference in your pictures.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, that's awesome. You look so healthy now. What a difference. This is awesome, Jeff. Hardly looks like the same person. And then Larry, on Tuesdays, you look happier too, he said.
Oh yeah, he was. Do any of us feel good when we don't feel good? Like, it's not just about losing weight. It's not just about being on medications. It's a whole state of mind. So no one wants to be in that place. And I think that photo is reflective of it. And I know that we've all been there. But when you're ready to make the commitment to yourself is when it becomes a lot. It becomes easier. Lord knows I've been on a million different diets, tried to change my life, tried to change my diet, try to follow whatever was trending, but there was something unique and special about this program that made it easy to be successful. And it has transformed our lives.
Plus the people are awesome. The HMR people, all the coaches, they're just, it's like they're made to do what they do. They really care about your journey and what you're doing. So it makes it profound when you go there.
Yeah, I'm really not just saying that. I really, really mean it. It has changed our life.
Yeah, we're being really honest.
so many people actually make a career change to work with HMR or in a clinic that runs an HMR program. It's very common. The vast majority of people have sort of like they found their calling. We've had people actually use those words. My colleagues, Helen and Kate, are joining as well. Helen said, looks like you've never, ever had a weight history or a significant event. You just look great. Both of you guys look just tremendous. Let's slide over to you if we could, Joe. I want to show your pre and post picture.
We're getting serious.
I suspect you were, just getting to know you in our little email exchanges and the pre-interview. You seem like a very happy person, but I just love this post photo that you shared with us, just in terms of the look on your face, and it just looks like there's a mischievousness to it and just a playfulness, which is just so great. So tell us a little bit, what was motivating you to join HMR? Of course, help supporting Jeff was a big part of it, so you can comment on that. But what else was happening with you that you wanted to see different with some lifestyle changes?
Well, I've always been heavy all of my life. It's always been a little bit of a challenge for me. I'd like to call myself healthy chubby. Like I didn't have anything like remarkably wrong with my health. My blood pressure was great. I just was chubby. So, but as a female and as a woman and a girl and a young lady, you always want to look your best, feel your best. And I just wasn't feeling my best. I didn't exercise a lot. I guess it would be sporadic. And there was absolutely no way that Jeff would go through this program without me by his side, helping him encourage it. This is an all-in, non-negotiable. We do this as a couple, as a family, in order for this to be successful, because I want him around. We love you, and we just want you with us as long as we can. And then I started thinking about, well, I want to be around as long as I can too. So it was just a big life changer. No one wants to have a life event like this, but if that's what it took to get us to pay attention, then apparently that was what was needed. Thanks, honey.
Oh,
not really, but
we've been a lot of nice people.
it's been remarkable.
Joelle, they're saying that you took years off your life, and Larry says you look great success in your picture, and you're really strong holding up that tree.
My Larry again from my 2C group, younger, stronger, a better you for yourself, your family, and everyone in your life, which is pretty much what you just said there, Joe. Really awesome. So great. Lisa, do you have any memories in those initial days when this fabulous couple came in and lightened up the clinic?
Well, they've said a lot of what I was going to say is that they're all into this. They're all together. It started because of Jeff's health, but it's been so much more than that. I think that the all-in part is big. Like they were just ready, whatever it took, that's what we're going to do. And not only was it there for their own family and for each other, which were really strong motivators, but they were really all about helping other people from the beginning. Like a lot of their ideas were great for themselves, but they were really doing that to see if they could also give other people that were a little bit less creative some ideas as well. So it was just a real caring, supportive attitude all the way around. And those are some of the things that I really, really remember about them.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Lisa. So Jeff, Joe, and Joelle, you guys mentioned several times Jackie, who is a coach there and has just played a seminal role in your success. Wax on a little bit about Jackie. Tell us a little bit about what's special about her and the role she's played in supporting both of you.
She's incredibly caring. She has this wicked sense of humor.
Oh yeah, she's hilarious.
And she coined Test Kitchen, and she just really makes our meetings super fun.
We stole a lot of her material, actually.
Slippery soap. And she really is down to earth and keeps it super real. I mean, if someone's struggling, she'll find a silver lining of that moment. So a lot of us, when we're going through a struggle week, like, oh my gosh, I only lost 1 ounce. Yeah, but you lost that ounce. Like, that's huge. Like, it's those small wins that will compound over time to make a really great win, and just keeping us on track with that, not giving up on anybody. She's just great. Just love Jackie.
You did not want to come in and be any heavier than you were the week before. It's just, she just inspired you, you know. I mean, you didn't, it's not like you were going to get in trouble or anything, but you just wanted to weigh less the following week, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Then like have your blood, you know, like and my blood pressure, watching my blood pressure go down, and then, you know, then the doctor took me off my blood pressure medication, and that was really a huge thing. So
totally great. Wow. Well, so big shout out to Jackie. How awesome. She deserves everything that you guys just said. I wanted to dig in a little bit more around that experience that you had, the day-to-day, the week-to-week push to lose the weight. You know, we have people who are watching who I'm sure are in phase 1. We may actually have people watching eventually, you know, a lot of people watch this after the live event who might be considering HMR. And then of course we have people who are in phase 2, but let's talk a little bit about your phase 1 experience in a little more detail. You guys, what's clear in speaking to you is you were really committed, both of you, to be in the box. And I mean, all the way, both feet, all the way in the box. Why? What was your thought process? Did you guys have a conversation about like how you were going to approach it? You know, it's very easy to say, you know, part-time dieting, everyone does it. We'll take weekends off or whatnot, but you guys clearly didn't do that. So Joe, start us off. Tell us a little bit about what went into that commitment that you guys showed to be in the box 100% to lose the weight.
I actually remember sitting right here in the kitchen, and we were having our entree for the first time, and we're like, oh,
pretty small.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all we get to eat today.
Well, let's make the best of it.
Right.
So then we started adding different things that were free to it. Like we would add a little horseradish, or we would add a little bit of sugar-free barbecue sauce or something just to jazz up that mushroom risotto.
As long as it was under 30 calories, we could add it.
Exactly. So we used a sense of humor, creativity, and tons of different well, I really tried to keep it under like 15 calories, because then I felt guilty, but to jazz that up. And then also we stayed on the same schedule together, and having a partner help out with that was great, because I was still working. He would get the shakes ready, and we had the timing of everything planned. We prepared in advance, so we knew what we were going to do for the day, so we weren't scrambling at the last second. Because I think sometimes people do get overwhelmed with meal planning and how do I make this work with my work? And so we just took a little extra time to really plan out our day in advance and get excited about what are we going to try next? What are we going to mix up today to make it taste? Well, the meals themselves are delicious, absolutely delicious. How can we camouflage it so that when we're with family members, we don't feel like we're the odd man out or we're eating differently than someone else? Like that's a big part of this, is that mind game that we play with ourselves, or that other people aren't quite sure how to react. Like, oh, you can't have real food. I'm having some real food, and this is saving my life. Like creating that support group with your friends and family members, educating them on what you're doing and asking them for their help and their support was monumental. And that is also what really helped us out. But I realized that not everybody has a great support system. And that's what our family and our classes became, like our second support. And I'm just rambling on again.
Yeah, I still miss the people from phase one. Yeah, we used to.
Yeah, it's always
We got really tight.
it's
with the
always a
people in phase
bittersweet
one.
thing when
It was
someone moves
bittersweet.
from phase one to phase two, and you're like, where did Bob go?
I know. It's like we see people leave, and all of a sudden,
But then
they're in
that-
phase two now.
but that's
and then
such
you're
an
glad
amazing
because
thing.
yeah, that means that they lost like 50 pounds or something, and
Yeah.
they could go into
I-
phase two.
Hey
But you
guys,
miss
Got it,
it all
Greg.
the same. Though.
I wanted
One
to
of your
ask you.
quotes. Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of your quotes, which I laughed out loud at when we were talking before, was Joelle. I think you said it. The classes were 60 minutes long, but you said, "I think we were the reason the 60-minute classes went 90 minutes long sometimes."
Sometimes.
It just really
Whoops.
it speaks to the camaraderie you guys had there. Just awesome. Go ahead, Lisa.
I was going to ask you both, why was losing weight quickly important to you? Why not just lose a pound a week? Why was losing weight quickly important?
Right.
Well, I think for us, it was really because Jeff was at a pivotal point in his health that if he didn't, he would be diabetic and potentially have another stroke.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
non-negotiable. We had to, and it was super important.
Well, plus if you lose a lot of weight at the beginning, it makes it makes you even want to lose even more as you go along. I mean, it's like if you start out and like in the first couple of weeks you lose a pound or two, you don't think it's going to be that effective. But if you say you lose 5 pounds the first week and another 5 pounds, and then there was one time they thought their scale was wrong because I think I dropped 11 pounds in 1 week, but
Guys
Wow.
have it so easy.
and that's what
So
they
easy.
always said. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's like you guys, guys are," and all the like the nurses who were awesome there would they would taking our blood. Oh yeah, guys have it so easy. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's okay. I mean, we shouldn't be discouraged. by
Don't
that.
worry about him. Just don't worry about him losing all that weight.
That's
Slow and steady.
awesome.
Feel
slow and
guilty
steady
about it?
wins the
Oh
race.
yeah, slow and steady.
In
And
the
then,
end.
yeah, and then I slowed down after a while. I mean, but I still, you'd still see that weekly change, and it was really, really cool.
And I think also that jumpstart of losing weight quickly, boy, does that boost your spirits.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah,
And it made it easier to keep going.
makes it easier to do the PA too because you move a little easier.
Oh yeah, we're lighter.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I mean, what is more motivating than losing weight quickly? I can't think of anything that would have as much of an impact on wanting you to keep it going and not wanting to mess with it than a
Right.
big weight loss that you can add on to a significant total weight loss that's growing each week because you're losing it quickly. So just for people who may be a little less familiar with the program, this whole idea of being in the box 100% all the way. Candace, I'm speaking to you, who I work with and who's watching. That is what produces the quick weight loss. That is the game plan. That is the blueprint for losing it as quickly as possible. So I just want to make sure I'm connecting those two concepts here because there is no replacement for losing it quickly. Doors open that otherwise don't exist when you're losing weight quickly. And boy, do you feel like this program is unlike anything you've ever done before, but the box is the best way to do that. So take that as advice from people who experience the benefits of being in the box. And I would ask our audience, for those of you who have experience, if you're in phase 2, phase 1, doesn't matter, a quick credentialing of the importance of, as hard as it is, tolerating what it takes to be in the box. If you have something to say in support of that concept, I'd love you to just take a minute and add that to the comments from your own perspective, just to really sort of slam dunk that point.
Absolutely. So, hey guys, what did your doctors say, Jeff? When you went to the doctor and they saw you with this strong start, what did they say?
Well, my one doctor, the neurologist, said, "Jeff, I wish all my patients were like you and they took my advice and took it seriously like you did." And I mean, he was astounded. So, and that made me feel really, really good. And then my GP was just really, really supportive when I saw her. And I think I had lost about 50 pounds, and then she's looking and she's like, "Let me just congratulate you, Jeffrey. You're doing this on purpose, right?" And I said, "Yeah." because you know, your doctor thinks, oh my gosh, you know, you lost 50 pounds. How did you, you know, what are you dying or something, you know? But
Hope not.
she was really good. All the doctors were glad, and then my cardiologist took me off the blood pressure medication, and he was really happy to do that. And
Wow.
so yeah, all the doctors were really happy about it.
So, so Rick was talking earlier about whatever it takes to stay in the box. And I remember hearing the story about Thanksgiving for you guys, how you had planned to be in the box. Would love to hear more.
Well, I tried to mimic a Thanksgiving dinner using the entrees. And I think at that time we were just adding.
Are we frozen?
Uh-oh.
We've got the Joe and Jeff are frozen here for a moment.
No.
As we're waiting for
No, Lisa just froze.
Oops.
Oh,
on the
I
Jones
see
end.
you guys moving. I see
Oh,
me
here we go.
moving, but I don't see
Oh,
Rick
there we
moving.
go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we are. We had guests on in the past who were in the box during Thanksgiving.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, tell us, Joelle and Jeff, about while Rick's coming back on. Tell us
Well,
what
we're
you
still
did.
moving.
Oh, so I tried to mimic Thanksgiving dinner, and we had a ton of
I think we've
different.
got a little bit of a frozen connection here. Let me, oh, Rick is frozen. Thank you, Jennifer.
No.
Well, you were. Now you're not.
How am I now? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. So take us through Thanksgiving. That's a big commitment. Tell us
It is.
about it.
We were given a lot of recipes and a lot of support from Jackie and the staff at our Clinton Township HMR group. So we were prepared for that, for creative ideas. We were at the time allowed to add in some vegetables. So we had a little bit of squash. And we also let our family know we're going to be bringing our own food. And actually having the food that they had out there, they kind of adjusted their menu as well, so there wouldn't be so many tempting items, which was super cool.
Really cool. Love that.
And then I didn't even want to eat the regular. Well, not the regular.
We didn't
food,
want-
but it's like I was happy just to eat my stuff that we brought.
We had memories of being in food comas
Yeah, I'd
after
have to-
Thanksgiving dinner, and that was no fun. And we actually were able
No,
to
no, it wasn't. Not at all.
feel energized after we
Yeah.
ate. We played with our nieces, and it was a completely different experience, and I kind of really loved it, and I don't want it to end.
Yeah, we could crawl around on the rug with the littles. That was fun.
We could move.
Yeah, we could
We
actually
could
move.
move without being tired.
And then the
Oh,
next day,
yeah.
then you could move the next day as well, which was nice too. So that was good.
Well, that's just one more example, a huge commitment on your part. I do want to come back to, you mentioned before, I don't know if it's in the title of this this event, and something that I want to dive into here, because you guys talked a lot about this. I want to talk about coming back to your creativity that you used to be in the box. In that pre-conversation, you guys, I don't even know if you were aware of it. You were saying things and making comments like the following, if I may imitate you for a moment. Yeah, so, Test Kitchen put cauliflower in a shake just to try it out. And I thought, oh, that was an interesting sort of way that sentence was phrased. And then later it was, so we put that on the list for Test Kitchen. And then another one, Joe, you said, well, nobody puts Test Kitchen in the corner. And I had like this idea starting to form in my mind. It didn't crystallize until, believe it or not, Joe, you made a Seinfeld reference. So Sandy, who's manning HMR program, she's a fellow Seinfeld fan like I am. We're threatening to do a Seinfeld themed Facebook Live at some point. Let us know if you want us to do that, guys, in the comments. But you said Seinfeld, and then I realized when you were talking about Test Kitchen, the way you were talking about Test Kitchen, I thought of the episode with, do you guys remember Jimmy, who referred to himself in the third person?
Yes. Yeah.
Jimmy's pretty sweet on you. Jimmy played pretty well today, So it occurred to me that Test Kitchen, it really, the way you were talking about it, it wasn't just your kitchen. It had sort of morphed into or evolved into sort of its own entity, like a separate being of sorts, like a third person involved in the conversation. So let's dive into Test Kitchen here. And I think I would be remiss if we didn't go to the source of how this name came to be, my dear friends. We have a surprise guest joining us. What? Hello, Jackie. Can you hear her?
Hello, I can hear you.
Oh boy, Jackie, you've come with some high billing here. I hope you
I know, I heard some of it and I'm nervous.
No, forget it.
Deserves every bit of it.
You guys,
So-
this is awesome.
You guys wanted her on, and we have granted that wish. Now,
You ask
Yeah.
and we deliver.
let's talk Test Kitchen. What is the story behind Test Kitchen?
So every week we give a assignment for a recipe, meal replacements, and they would take the assignment home and I would get an email that had like, here's the level I would expect. Like, oh, we tried the pudding, and it was here every week. And we would talk about it in class then the next week. And I would say, you know, this is what they were making. And eventually it turned into, chef, this week we prepared for you. And they would talk like we were on a cooking competition show. And so we would have these sort of radical ideas in class about, wouldn't it be cool if we did such and such a thing? And it would just turn into, I think that's a great assignment for Test Kitchen to take home and put together. I mean, I was looking through my emails, Joe, today, where I think 3 or 4 times I told you, you guys need a YouTube cooking channel for all of you. They made mock choy. I sent you, Rick, I don't know if you can pull it up. I sent a bunch of the pictures that I pulled off of my email of the stuff that they created. Just
I don't think I could pull that up right now because I'll grind to a halt as the host. But, we can post them maybe later. We could definitely post them later.
But I mean, I had an email that was deconstructed savory chicken. They made these little like rice patties and then their chicken separately that they tossed in like hot sauce or something like that. Just amazing.
So how much of a thing was Test Kitchen? Well, permit me to share my screen, because Test Kitchen actually has its own logo. As you guys can see here, J&J, Joe and Jeff's Test Kitchen, brilliant. And I'm going to actually have you guys speak a little bit. You even have your top tips from Test Kitchen.
Okay.
You guys
Brilliant.
seeing this, we've got the top 5 additions. Now, you might think that this is very phase 1 centric, which of course it's very much mostly, very much probably discovered these things in phase 1, but any of these can be used in phase 2. I use several of them myself as part of my own work in phase 2, managing my own personal weight. So take us through this a little bit. We've got skinny syrups, Walden Farm syrups. I assume there's a difference. PB Fit powder, very similar to PB2, frozen vegetables, and extracts. So Jeff and Joe, take us through some of the top moments of exploring new recipes in Test Kitchen. What comes to mind as stuff that was really worth the time of sort of stretching your boundaries?
Probably the shakes that I would make. I would think about how can I make the chocolate and the vanilla more fun and more appetizing and something I'd want to drink. So we had started in phase 1 putting the sugar-free chocolate pudding in, which is like really your friend, and you need either you need to borrow your mother's blender if you don't have one, or just get a blender or get a Ninja, or if you don't have one, because you can't just shake these things up in a shaker bottle. You've got to whip them up in a blender with like ice cubes, and then the sugar-free pudding. And then I got really crazy and I started making Elvis shakes. And I even put a little bit of, a little touch of bacon bits in there sometimes, And then like the strawberry malt, which turned out, if you do it right, it's very much like the big boy strawberry malt. And you get the malt powder and the chocolate shake. And
I mean, we made a different one every day, and every challenge that we were given, we try to like
you get a lot
just
of variety
push the Epicurean boundary just a little bit more. And one challenge, we had a cauliflower challenge,
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
used the frozen teeny weeny cauliflower bits,
The rice cauliflower.
the rice
yeah.
cauliflower. And that
The
actually,
shake now. In the shake.
In the
it's
shake.
like,
Yeah.
oh
So
yeah.
what was
I
that
call
like?
it the rice pudding shake. You put a lot of cinnamon in, and let's see, and then some cheesecake sugar-free pudding really helps a lot. And
Oh,
it turns out it is very much like rice pudding. I mean, depending on how much cinnamon you put in there to mask the cauliflower taste. But yeah, it's a really good shake,
And
actually.
it's kind of fun to find ways to disguise your vegetables so you could actually get more vegetables in than you could ever imagine with creativity in your shakes. For sure. You can hide it.
Larry's got a question mark. Rice pudding shake, question mark.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting. Texture. That's right, Larry. It's all about creating different textures, different mouthfeels, of course, different flavors. So this was a big hit, Jackie, it sounds like, in the class. And is this why some of the classes went longer than 60 minutes?
Yeah.
Pretty
Well, and
much.
it just turned into everybody throwing out ideas, which just gets more excited about the work that you're doing. I mean, I still, and they've been in, you guys, how long in phase 2? Like several months, I think since the new
Yeah.
year.
We're still in, yeah.
I still
I-
have people in my decision free that were with you talking about where are Test Kitchen now? What are they doing now? They don't remember names, but they ask about Test Kitchen.
How does that feel,
Awesome.
guys? They don't remember your names at all. You remember Test Kitchen. Clearly, there's a hierarchy here in terms of what was most compelling.
Oh, why would you remember 2 names when you could remember one name that talks about both of them, right? Test Kitchen.
Yes, yes, Test Kitchen. It's sort of like the collective term for all of them. That's great.
Test Kitchen is happy, Rick.
Yes.
What I think is,
Test Kitchen likes that a lot.
yeah,
Test Kitchen is excited.
Test Kitchen likes that. Yes, very good. What I think is impressive is, a lot of every HMR class, no matter where you go, any state where you have a clinic or any of even the remote classes done on Zoom now, you have lots of ideas being bantered about, lots of creative thoughts and strategies and tips. But there's a natural tendency to hear these and say, gee, that sounds great. Oh boy, that's maybe wonderful. And then go out into your week and basically do what you did last week and not try something new. It's almost like an inertia around pushing your stretch zone to try new and different things. You guys were the opposite of that. So was there like an expanding base of different recipes that you found you were building and enjoying? And did that help you with the 50-pound weight loss for you, Joe, and 80 pounds for you, Jeff? What would you say about like the value of being open to going those extra few steps to keep testing new and different things?
Well, I think it was really important because one of the things that I really love to do is cook. And when you're in decision free, you are decision free and you're not creative in the kitchen. And I really missed that aspect of my life. So I tried to pretend I was a Food Network chef in my mind. And that's what really drove me, at least as a wife, mother, main cook person, chef, to keep it interesting. And I feel like if we hadn't made it fun and interesting, I don't know how successful we really would have been, to be honest, because I think it's easy to just get down on yourself, like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again, or I'm only limited to.
Yeah.
So I think
Or I don't like this, and then you make it the way that you will like it,
a lot of it also is attitude in your mindset. We were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready. We would do whatever it
We were
took
tired of being heavy
to make it work.
What's clear, just hearing you speak, is that you did choose to, as you said earlier, make it fun. You said also bring a sense of humor. That was echoed in the comments as being an important thing. It can really help you go a long way. If you're being creative and bringing a sense of humor to this, you can push yourself further than otherwise. Just a real quick couple of comments that I want you guys to hear. Coach Kate. I am making the rice pudding shake tonight. So you continue
Super
to
velvety. It's
inspire.
really
It's
amazing.
really nice in the fall too. It's got that real fall flavor to it, especially if you put some like pumpkin spice skinny syrup in there too.
Love it. Love it. Another comment here for you guys. Will there be a book tour by Test Kitchen? LOL.
Ooh,
Followed
there
by,
okay. We can do
followed
it.
by Tanya saying, I want to move in with Test Kitchen. I'll be taking tenants.
Now, is that-
Patty wants-
that's
Patty-
Tanya from our phase 1, probably, I think.
That is
Patty
fantastic.
wants to know if there's a Test Kitchen cookbook now or in the works.
Who do
Hi,
you
Louise,
have,
little-
Jackie?
This is little Louise, and it's her bedtime.
Oh.
So I'm so
Okay.
glad that I got to be here for you, Joe and Jeff. Love you guys.
Thank you so
And
much
we go
for
to bed
popping in.
before she gets too crazy.
Wonderful. Really,
Bye.
really
Thanks for joining
Bye,
us,
Jackie. Thanks for
Joe.
popping in.
Bye, guys.
excellent. Excellent. So we're hearing a lot of different strategies and ideas. I want to ask again the audience, are there things people have been adding along, different things that they found helpful or are finding helpful, whether in phase 1 or as part of eating healthy and managing calories in phase 2? I'm going to just show a food montage that I put together. Shane, who's watching now, he's a frequent guest and co-host in this space, periodically sends me, I think he's trying to intimidate me with his creativity, sends me photos of his meals. And can I tell you, he does a pretty good job intimidating. Look at some of these, and I'll just have you guys be thinking, is there any other particular rise to the top strategies that you'd want to share that we haven't shared yet? Let me just show a couple of phase 1 and also phase 2 recipes. Here we are. Look at this.
Ooh.
I think everyone's intimidated.
Ooh.
Extraordinary. So just
Wow.
phase 1 on the left, actually mostly phase 1, HMR ravioli, just a teaspoon of Parmesan. So that makes it a phase 2 recipe. Mixed with vegetable, garden blend spices and kale, air fryer, yellow potato with chili powder. Look at, it's just so
Brilliant.
delectable.
Wow.
You know, it's so not grabbing an entree, cracking it and going in the closet and eating it in the dark. I mean, it's like enjoying your food and what's available on the program. And then the middle one on the top, the HMR mushroom risotto, a teaspoon of steak sauce mixed in over cauliflower and spaghetti squash with garden blend spices. Shane's big on the spices. He's also big. I don't know, Jeff and Joe, if you were tuning in to our Facebook Live events, months before, but Shane did a whole grilling episode. And I think what I came away from that was, boy, I have to grill more, but I need to do more with shrimp at only 25 calories per ounce. So here's his phase 2, Cajun spice, grilled shrimp, vegetables, and a fist-sized potato. And then on the right, you see a few different meals that he actually prepared during the Facebook Live.
Nice. That's
So-
lovely.
Impressive.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Really, really great.
I
So-
love it. Air fryers are phenomenal as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Way to
they
go,
are. Your,
Shane.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm
the air
gonna
fryer.
steal their recipe.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That shrimp, the grilled shrimp looks like Test Kitchen might steal a couple of those. Hope you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, do so. So anything else in terms of this idea of variety is important. Humans love variety. We need variety. If you have more variety that you can enjoy, it just helps. It gives you dieting endurance. It helps you stay longer in phase 1 and helps you stay more on track in phase 2. So the question we're asking is for everyone, is there more to explore in terms of like really redoubling your efforts around being creative, using your imagination? We've really just touched on the tip of the iceberg here. What other things before we come off of Test Kitchen and some of the wonderful concoctions that were put together there? Anything else that comes to mind that you guys would share was a really good meal or snack that's worth sharing?
Egg roll in a bowl?
Egg roll in a bowl. That is
Ooh.
a real
Phase
go-to
2.
staple for us.
Yeah, phase 2.
So
I
it's
eat that every
I
day.
think that's really a great idea to think about is deconstructing meals that you would normally eat that weren't so healthy for you, and then finding a new way to recreate it in a way that will help you stay in the box. I think it's also important to acknowledge the morning of leaving one phase and going into another, because I do miss some of my phase one. So I will bring it back a couple times and bring some meals back. So don't be afraid that you have to be locked in once you go on to phase two. You can always break into an entree and recreate a really good meal with them as well.
The chicken rotini Alfredo.
Yeah. Oh, I've made, the whiteout pizza with the
that was amazing.
It was the chicken soup and I made
you made the crust
chicken
with
soup
the chicken.
vanilla shake. We had YouTube and Pinterest are really good resources as well on the internet to watch other people and how they recreate these ingredients, but we made a crust with that, and then we pulverized the chicken rotini, added garlic, and when we were allowed to add vegetables, we would put a mushroom with it, and we made like a garlic whiteout pizza that reminded me of something I would get at Salvatore Scalapini. And I totally was so full.
One of those, which was, we were probably still in the box doing that because it was like a shake and a cereal. But you were full after one of those. So it was like a plate pizza, and
so it's just really getting creative and making your meals feel like you're having meals that you used to have that were not so great for you.
I have to say, that sounds like it could be the apex of Test Kitchen. The garlic whiteout pizza. My goodness. Tremendous. Hey,
Really
Lisa, is there anything, just in the spirit of tossing creative ideas around and things that we're enjoying, is there anything right now that an in the box meal, snack, the entree, with or without veggies, shakes, with or without fruit, anything that's sort of rising to the top of your list right now, just what you're enjoying as part of just eating healthy?
Well, we'll never let go of having our shakes.
I love that. We have double shakes in the morning. Makes it a lot easier. And
our PA,
I really like pistachio shakes right now. Those are really good.
And keeping up with our PA, I think that once you graduate onto a different level, you think, well, maybe I don't have to do this as much. But I really actually enjoy running unintentionally. Like I'm not being chased. I do enjoy a little run now. And I can tell you, I have not ran since probably the 8th grade Presidential Physical Fitness Awards. I mean, that was like in the 70s.
I remember those.
The mile, I thought I was gonna die.
The 400-yard run walk.
400-yard dash. It was called the dash. You remember? 400-yard dash.
I'd be crawling. I wouldn't be running or
walking. So now PA is actually something that we look forward to.
Especially with the weather getting nicer. Yeah, it's really nice to get out and walk around and smell the air. And
well, instead of going out to dinner every time, you're going to do something instead of let's go out to dinner here, let's go out to dinner there. Like we'll pack our lunches. We'll pack our lunches all the time and just go up for walks in different parks all over the area. And we'll just have our little picnic and sit down, and then we'll just get back up and walk some more. We'll always take our walking shoes.
Lisa, is there any, as part of, I want to extend that question out to you. Is there anything right now, all these years practicing these behaviors that we help people to practice, is there anything right now around a healthy meal or snack in the box or phase 2 centric that you're really enjoying right now?
I do my shakes every single morning. So I do a chocolate shake. I take my large thing of spinach and I portion it out into sandwich bags. And if you saw my freezer, if I open up the door to it, the top is always frozen berries. The middle is always prepackaged spinach, and the bottom is always flax, chia, and hemp seed. So I just throw chocolate shake, spinach, mixed berries, and flax or chia or hemp seed. And it's just my favorite shake. And I have it every single day.
Wow, that's fantastic. I love it. Guys, I want to have us turn the corner here, and we could go another hour brainstorming strategies and ideas. The main theme here, and Test Kitchen was just such a perfect foundation for this conversation, was the world is throwing high calorie food, just thousands of new high calorie foods are introduced in the marketplace every month. And we have to build our own way of responding to that. And you guys are just such a great testament to being creative, bringing your imagination to it, and building out healthy strategies by trying lots of different things and trial and error. Jeff, you did say that, what did you put real rice in by mistake into one shake, right? Because you were making
I thought, okay, I'm going to try the cauliflower shake. I look in the freezer, you know, and there was this bag in there and it looked like cauliflower. And I said to Joelle when she got home, I said, my gosh, that cauliflower shake was really good. And she says, you found some cauliflower in the freezer? And I said, yeah, it was in like this little bag. And she said, was it a clear bag? I said, yeah. And she says, that was jasmine rice. I said, oh, no wonder it was so good. You know, and I hope I didn't like really mess the caloric content up too badly, but I used a little bit. I didn't use a ton, but it was really like a rice pudding shake that way. But
yeah.
if you want to live dangerously, use a little bit of frozen jasmine rice, and that makes pretty good shake.
You guys, honestly, what's really good in phase 2 is you can take like a quarter or half a cup of it, mix it into 70+ vanilla, add some white chocolate pudding powder and some cinnamon, and it literally is rice pudding. But it's got protein in it, and it's amazing. So every so often, if I have leftover rice.
If you can find the white chocolate pudding, that stuff is like a unicorn.
Well,
yeah, it's like a holy grail when you find a box of that stuff.
Jeff, I hope your standing in test kitchen didn't drop with that one mistake, but so variety.
It was a happy accident. We'll look at it like that. It was like a happy accident.
That's right. You've survived and come out on the other side. So variety and being creative, it's really on us to build out our own variety. And it really just makes such a huge difference in terms of always giving you something that you can look forward to. What I'd like to do is, as we sort of move towards ending our conversation here, I would like it to bring it back to, if I could just share the picture of both of you guys again. You guys work hard. People who are listening in our audience, this is hard work. As you look at this photo and what you've accomplished here, what are you present to in terms of why it's worth all of the effort? You know, what is some of the payback or one of the benefits, one of the improvements you're experiencing, something that you really like as a function of the lifestyle changes you're making, the weight that you've lost, that makes you say, you know what, this really is just so much better and worth the effort. So Jeff, why don't you start answering that? Well,
neither one of us could have hiked up to where that dead tree is at Sleeping Bear Dunes before we started HMR, because it was almost an hour hike to get to that lookout point that we went to. So there's no way
I would have never been able to carry that log over my shoulders.
No, she lifted the 3,000-pound log. You know.
I couldn't have.
And you can't see, but I'm sitting on it like I am there. And she's
it's really comes to mind.
It's really brought us closer together, really, honestly, as a family and as a couple. And it's just amazing how certain things will happen in your life and how things can bring you together. We're super creative people outside of cooking. So it's only natural that we kind of morph it into our food. Sorry, our grandfather
clock is now telling us it's 8 o'clock.
But again, it has just really been a remarkable change of our lives all the way around. And our family sees it. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do that hike. I wouldn't have been able to do 2-3 mile walks.
Or run.
Now
you're running.
Intentionally.
Yeah, she takes off. We'll be walking and all of a sudden she's gone, you know. And,
wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Body, mind, and spirit.
The walks are a lot of fun, you know, a lot of fun walking together.
Great. Well, thank you guys for being with us tonight, for taking us into your lives a little bit, for letting us know about the entity that is going forward, being called Test Kitchen by all of us across the country. But also, thanks for being such great ambassadors for HMR. Really just tremendous. It's been really fun getting to know you guys as we were talking about this conversation. And Lisa, it wouldn't have happened without you. So thank you for really helping to shepherd the whole process. Really
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Yeah. So guys, everyone listening in the audience, have a great night. Keep fighting the good fight here. It's worth it. You have your reasons. Don't lose sight of them for 1 minute. And we'll be here next week for another Facebook Live. And until then, stay strong, eat healthy, be creative. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Vinny.
Test Kitchen
Bye.
loves you.